the swine flu in 2009.
It started in March when people came into contact with infected pigs in Mexico. It killed dozens in the country, canceled events, and shut down travel, but still spread worldwide within weeks. H1N1 was the first influenza pandemic since 1967. But the question for many, how bad was the swine flu in 2009? Depends on who you ask.
I just felt terrible.
John Gilson of Denmark, who was otherwise healthy, was hospitalized for 5 days after developing pneumonia as a complication of suspected H1N1.
I went and just laid down on the couch, and then I started coughing and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I sat up, and I couldn't get any air. And I said, just call 911. I said, get an ambulance here.
But many will point to the overall death totals compared to the seasonal flu. The Centers for Disease Control estimates there are about 36,000 deaths nationwide each year related to the seasonal flu, and about 700 in Wisconsin. The latest estimate for H1N1 is less than 10,000 around the country, but the CDC says that could range from about 7,000 on the low end to 14,000 on the high end. And so far there have been fewer than 50 deaths in Wisconsin. But health experts say those numbers should not be taken as H1N1 being any less dangerous.
What we're seeing is, particularly while most people, if you get the virus, your symptoms and your illness are going to be about as severe as the seasonal influenza, but for our younger children, we're really seeing that they're impacted a lot harder.
During the last year of seasonal flu, there were 68 deaths for children across the country and none in Wisconsin. So far, there have been between 3 and 4 times as many H1N1 deaths for children, and 6 of Wisconsin deaths have been children. That vulnerability had health officials taking action.
To protect the public's health, I have ordered those schools to be closed until further notice.
A handful of Wisconsin schools were closed in the spring, including several in Milwaukee, because of a single to very few cases. The state said starting with the new school year, closing school would be a last resort.
In the very beginning, like last spring, you're looking at trying to contain the spread as much as you can. After a certain point in a pandemic, they decide that it really is out in the community, so now we have to focus on different strategies.
But because of high absenteeism, often between 30 and 40%, 32 Wisconsin schools and 9 entire districts closed this fall, the most recent in early November. Crandon and Omro were the only districts in northeast Wisconsin, but nearly a third of the schools were in our area. Because of WIAA rules, along with canceled school, came canceled activities. It led to frustration, and in the case of the Ashwaubenon boys soccer team, heartbreak, having to forfeit a playoff game, ending the season.
Finally, we get past the first round of the regional tournament. We're going to go, and then this happens, and they take it away from us, so it was very unfortunate.
When the H1N1 vaccine became available, health experts first targeted at-risk groups such as pregnant women, healthcare workers, and people with underlying health conditions. And while some of those at risk came in droves for the vaccine, some clinics did not get the turnout expected.
It's a challenge to the public health providers to get what they have out as quickly as they can, but it's a better challenge to have more vaccine available than it is to have more people and no vaccine.
Several health departments say they saw better turnout as eligibility expanded. While some vaccine has been recalled in our area, health officials say it poses no risk. And with the vaccine now available to everyone,
we definitely want the public to take advantage of the vaccine because historically we can have 2 to 3 waves at least.
It remains to be seen what may be in store for 2010. Cameron Clark, Fox 11 News.
Health experts say because of the vaccine crunch this year, there is a possibility H1N1 will be included in the seasonal flu vaccine next year. Now, if you missed any of 2009, a look back, you can find all of the stories at fox11online.com. Click on News, then the link on the right-hand